I'll press the record button and say, "Yo, what up?" How's it going, man?
Going pretty good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, we have another deck doctor coming at it. This time Aoyama 2. What possessed you to grace my door with Aoyama 2? Hit me with it.
So, honestly, last week I pulled a maneuvering laser from my locals,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of went, "Hey, this does things with characters." And so I started like looking at Aoyama and maneuvering laser, and I started looking at it, and these two cards work really well together, probably because they're uh, built for each other.
What?
Uh, and that card can get up to like 7 mid for like 7 mid for 9, 7 mid for 12 if you just push all the buttons. Uh, Almost just between the character and the attack.
Mm-hmm.
And that's approaching Cannon Blast numbers. And so I figured I'd put something together, try to figure it out for locals this upcoming week.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Let me do some more looking. So what is the goal here then?
I want to bring this deck to locals here on Wednesday and see if I don't get absolutely ripped to shreds by Kirishima and Ochako.
Makes sense. Well, good luck with that. But we will
I agree.
we will for sure get it figured out. It looks like maneuver made lasers is like your big kill condition.
Yes, that and finishing blast. It's also mid, and I can get momentum with Aoyama. I can pick it up. I can give it damage with Midnight's Assistance, and all sorts of that good stuff.
Right.
And so there's like two decent tactics in how to kill people potentially. Thinking these strings only go like 3 deep, and then just hold the rest of my cards to try to not lose all 20 of that health there.
Huh. So I'm trying to do some looking. So I'm gonna look back one more through. The goal is this week at locals. Because there's some really neat death mid attacks. I mean, we've got Waylay in the next set. We've got Flamethrower in the next set. Flamethrower might actually make this character a bit real, right? But
Yeah.
that does not help for 2 days from now.
No, it sure
It
doesn't.
sure does not.
I've got some other stuff going on for set 2, but this is not why we're here today.
Right. Looking at the stats, looks like it's a tight 50. Is that number got to stay?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It is 50 because I couldn't find more than 50 cards I actually wanted in the deck.
Love that. Only 2 maneuvering lasers?
I really, while it is a big beer, I don't think it actually. You have to push every button on each of those cards, and if you Yuga on other things, it just really doesn't do much. I figure finishing blast is going to end up being a little bit more consistent as far as actually killing people. And maneuvering lasers just there to get in when it can.
Fair. Totally
and
fair.
If that number goes up, great. But I didn't see a huge reason into it.
I think that is fine. This one is very good. Probably better than that one. And then this one is very good. And then that means that maybe this one is very good. So I gotta do a lot of looking. I'm doing a lot of looking.
It's almost like nobody really plays this card.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Correct. All right. Okay. So I have put some stuff in here just to talk about it. So first and foremost, Tommy Glazer. It's his card. It comes out of the
Yeah.
DLC. Any particular reason we're not playing this one?
I don't know. It just didn't have any. It just doesn't strike me across as anything super good. The text itself isn't crazy, although I guess it does just start out at bigger numbers than maneuvering laser, so it can hit bigger numbers than maneuvering laser the same way. No, there's not a real reason it's not in there.
So for Tommy Glazer, the big thing that like it is technically a bigger finish than Finishing Blast, right? This card says you have to have played the powerful in order to get the +2 speed. This thing only has powerful 2. It's a 3 mid for 4, where this is a 5 mid for 5. Lose health, gain powerful 3, not powerful 2. It's like a better use of your momentum. And it's quote unquote 4 diff, a flip 1 committed foundation if you did ready it. So like it's 4 diff, right? And it's just like it's got the same block. The only issue is it doesn't have the Fury keyword, and it doesn't combo with a Fury, right? But we've got Maneuvering Laser here, which isn't a Fury, so this card doesn't combo. So like you can't even like flip their foundation. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. Another thing, if I remember. Yeah. So Aoyama says add 1 foundation to the card pull to your momentum. There's a lot of things there's been a couple of things throughout the deck that put things into our card pool.
Yeah.
From our stage, but if my foundation's flipped, it doesn't consider it a
foundation.
It doesn't consider a foundation. Yeah.
Totally. Well, the thing is this says from your card pool to your momentum, not from your stage to your card pool.
Right.
So this card doesn't care about the foundation we have in our stage. This card cares about adding a card from my stage to my card pool, right? Yeah. So like Tommy Laser and Maneuvering Laser don't necessarily combo together for Aoyama, but just an option. Okay. The next thing I wanna point out is Long Lasting Explosion. Insane in this character. Pay 1 6 mid for 6, sometimes 6 mid for 9. Makes my next mid attack hit harder. This card says it hits harder. This card says that they get faster. Same thing with Point Blank Incineration. If the next attack I play this turn is mid, it probably will be. It gets 3 extra speed. It's probably just like a better card than what Merciless Rush has going on, except for the low block. This card just is like a better at killing you card. Stun 1. Next one gets fast. This is a 9 damage move we want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to avoid putting in too many Bakugo 1 cards because I never ended up buying the set 1 starter decks.
Okay.
And so I got a buddy who does have some of those cards, and I could probably get a couple from him. I was just trying to do my best to not.
That sucks because this is the best foundation that you could possibly play in your deck.
+2, yeah.
Yeah, if you just made this a Fury deck and had like Maneuvering Laser as like a bonus extra cool card, right? As like a 12 damage move, and said that like your Finishing Blast, your Detonation Launcher, your Long Lasting Explosion, your Point Blank Incineration all got +2, +5 whenever we wanted them. Not to mention the +2 speed off of the Let's Fight Bad Guys that we got to play. This is probably how I would be playing this deck. But if we don't have access to those cards, then that is totally chill, right? We can work around that.
Yeah, I can probably. I mean, I'm only trying to play this deck like once and then staying away from Aoyama at the plate for the rest
of your life. Love that.
I could probably borrow these cards for the event.
Shining Naval Blast. Flip a foundation. This deck gets 1 speed, 1 damage, draw out discards momentum. It's a mid attack, so it's a 7 mid for 6, which is like just as good as everything else. It's a high block. It doesn't say Fury, so it doesn't combo with Finishing Blast, but it's technically better than Detonation Launcher. Because it itself is a mid, and so you can trigger the button on Aoyama if you want to, right? And it's also like momentum hate. Like there's moves to be said here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The only issue is it doesn't work with Finishing Blast, right? And so like if we were playing Tummy Ache Laser over top of the Finishing Blast, then I'd be down to play the Naval Laser Blast, right? Otherwise, the attack lineup that you're playing right now is fine, but it does say that all points have to lead to Maneuvering Laser or Finishing Blast.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, this only says your mid attacks get stuff, and this is a low, this is a high, this is a low. These are the only things. You have 6 attacks in your deck that you get to press this button on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're the only ones I get the damage on.
Correct. And the only ones you get the speed on. Your character is blank on this card.
Right. I was referring to the top enhance. You can still get the momentum, it just doesn't do anything.
Correct. Yeah. But if you get the momentum, that means you had to play a card before this, like a foundation before it, which means that, like, this was on, what, a 6 diff to have your character be blank? Asterix?
Fair.
Unless you hit them all day. In which case, you had to check a 3 on it, and you don't get to commit Mall Day to do the thing. Or you have to Midnight's Assistance, but then you don't get the added speed on Launcher or Rush or Uppercut.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So what do you think is better, the more Fury based kind of approach, or the laser approach?
I think laser is the correct way to do what you're doing, because we don't have access to these Bakugo 1 cards. If we had access to long-lasting explosion, point blank incineration capabilities, I think we all in on that package. I think that is just the way to play the character, specifically under the death and air symbols, right? To the point where, and I'm gonna give a big shout out here, Black Ace Solo played as this character against me and absolutely fucked me. He absolutely mollywopped me with this character under, and the key card was point blank incineration. It was the card to do it because all of his moves were crazy fast. He hit me crazy hard. He absolutely mollywopped me. Put a lot of respect on this character doing this one specific thing. If you had any way to interact with point blank incineration at all, the character didn't do anything. Right? But I do want to give a big, huge shout out to Black Ace.
So, assuming I do have access to the Bakugo 1 cards,
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean for the attacks currently in the deck?
I think that you take out the ones that aren't mids and you replace them with ones that are. I think you take and you put in long-lasting explosion, you put in point blank acceleration, and then like we'll get rid of. We could even keep the finishing blast if you absolutely want to, because the combo enhance doesn't really matter on this card, right? Oh no, we're sorry, we're keeping this because it's a thing. Yeah, we take out like the merciless rush and the detonation launcher, right? And I think I like cheerful uppercut personally, but it's just not a fury. And so I think that you actually just make it naval laser beam instead if you have it, because it's a mid, it gets massive, and it's a momentum use as well as everything else.
Yeah, I like it.
Say again.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so do you have 2 naval laser beams?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna take out this one just because it's not a mid. Got these 2 in here. So we're gonna put in the 4-point blank incinerations. We're gonna take out the merciless rushes. Right, better block, but this card actually kills people. The detonation launcher. What are we looking at there? Man, I wish this card had a high block. Let me go. I think detonation launcher is neat. I just like long lasting explosion in the deck.
Yeah.
Still at 50. Yeah, I'm not allowed to just cut the high blocks. Let me go looking for other fear. Oh, Let me go looking for other Fury cards. Because the other thing that we're doing is we're playing 4 Let's Fight Bad Guys in our deck. No way we don't. Were you at Gen Con?
No, I was not.
No, you're not? Shucks. There are no mid-attack high blocks. They just don't exist. Touch of Decay? That card's yucky. I guess maybe what we do is we put Detonation Launcher down to like a 2 of, right?
Okay.
And then we put in the Long Lastings at a 2 of. But man, Long Lasting just puts in so much work in this deck. It says every move hits so hard.
Yeah, make them block.
Yeah, they gotta block them all. Do you think if we... I mean, because we're increasing some of these high blocks, right? Like Surviving the Final, Midnight's Assistance. Those cards are going up to 4 of guaranteed. We could just increase the high blocks in your foundations and just realize that like your attack lineup is a little weak when it comes to high blocks. If we wanted to just get rid of these detonation launchers, I'm gonna put one in your sideboard so we still have access to it on the graph, and just tossed in 4 long lastings. Your damage went so high, and that's not even talking about the fact that like things are gonna get big.
Right.
Maneuvering Naval 4/4. Yeah, I think this deck's gonna hit way harder. And then like we get to play like 3x capabilities. We get to play 4. Oh, hello, Let's Fight Bad Guys. We get to play 4 Let's Fight Bad Guys. We have to play 4 Midnight's Assistance. We have to play 4 Surviving the Final. We're only gonna play 2 Molde because we have access to Midnight's Assistance, and we can just build a foundation in between these. Like that's okay.
Yeah.
And then where are we at? We're at 57. We got to get that number back down if we're going to play 16 attacks. Mediator, I think, is not that great. Exclusively because we don't have access to actions. We're not playing any action cards. Like, it's good spam. But, like, we have things like 4x Tight Lip, 4x Struggling with Studies, 4x Let's Fight Bad Guys. And so, like, defense is just not a thing we're doing. Apathetic gets to be a 1 of because we're playing a 50 card deck. Forcing gets to be a 1 of because we're playing a 50 card deck. I need 2 more cards gone. 13, 14, 25. They gotta be mid blocks. Graceful Maneuvers gets to be a 2 of. And then Tight Lipped gets to be a 3 of. And then I get to look at difficulty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 of our 34, that's half. Right? 17 and 17 is 30, is, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 34. Half our cards are spams. That's perfect. 50 card deck. 14, 23, 13. Those are even. And just realize that like your high blocks are, you have to hold high blocks in your attack, your foundations, because they don't exist on your attacks. And I think you're gonna absolutely kill the fuck out of people because of this card and stealing momentum here. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Thoughts?
It's very mid.
You can tell me you hate it. It's very mid.
The attack zones, they're all very mid.
Yeah, that's what your character does. Your character just shoots lasers out of his belly button.
Yes.
They can't hold all mids.
That's certainly true.
And even if they do hold all mids, we just make them so crazy fast. Right? This is a 7 mid attack. The only way that they get to like really block this is with plus ultra.
Yeah. I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Like the most important foundation in the game, and I can't remember the name. Excited for Blood.
Yeah.
It's a high. It gains its life. It's on death. Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's on death.
Should I?
Should I? So in this deck, we have to play 4 Midnight's Assistance, which is also a high, right? Because that's the way that we turbocharge our character, and so that we don't have to have the +1 progressive difficulty in order to do the thing, right? We have capabilities in here, which is another 3 diff, right? Although this card is a 4 high block, it'll be fine because our goal is just to kill them on turn 2. We're a 7 hand size glass cannon aggro character. As a 7 hand size glass cannon aggro character, we're going to be drawing the cards that we want to draw. We're going to be drawing our attacks, even though there are only 16 of them.
16C.
Perfect. Because there are only 16 of them, we're gonna be drawing our attacks. We're gonna be killing them. As soon as you find more maneuvering lasers, though, we're gonna push this up to a 4 of as soon as we can. But
Lasers.
say again.
I have the maneuvering lasers.
You've got 4.
Yeah.
Boop. All right. This card just fuels our ability.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have free momentum, right? I play maneuver lasers to make this as my lead off, right? I play maneuver lasers, and then I play literally any of these moves, and then my capabilities is live, and that's tight.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly is.
Yeah. Giving your point blank incineration or your long lasting explosion +5 speed or +5 damage is very good. +5 damage, and then you give it another 3 damage, and you say that this is a 5, 6, 7, 8 speed move. It's an 8 for 10, 11, 12, 13. 8 for 13 as your second ability. Whew. Yeah, that seems okay.
Yeah, it seems fun.
Yeah, seems all right. As less like, hey, it's a 6 diff. 8 for 13 catch. You said you wanted cannon numbers. We got cannon numbers, and we committed 1 resource for it as opposed to I test 2 with capabilities, right? But yeah, it's I think this is all about like how much damage can I just slam on these mid attacks, and they just can't have all mid blocks, and even if they do, they can't block them all. With how quick long lasting is and how quick point blank incineration is, they're just too quick with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This did bring us up to 52 cards.
Yeah,
and I think that's totally acceptable because this card's just too cracked.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sorry, we'll go back to Excited for Blood. That's our point that we're on. Ready? So that Excited for Blood is a flow card, and we need to kill them. And so we just need aggro cards like capabilities. Let's fight bad guys. We already have flow cards like Summoner Style, and being a 7 hand size, 52 card deck with only 18 attacks with 18 attacks in it says we're gonna find our attack cards. The chances that we don't find our attack cards is so exceptionally slim. I would rather see, instead of Excited for Blood, I would rather see copies of Latent Skill, discard 2, draw 2. Because that is a proactive card as opposed to a reactive card. Is that fair?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Easily take out like 1 apathetic and then 1 Summoner Style for it, or maybe even like 1 capabilities if you absolutely need to. We're probably gonna cut 1 of these anyways once you like play the deck, but I wanted to put it at 3 because I wanted you to see the card.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? These are all great questions.
If I may, how would you sideboard against Ochako and Kirishima? That deck by the same guy is top 1 and 2 to my locals for like the last 3 weeks. I borrowed his deck and I got top 2. How do you sideboard against those in this deck?
As Aoyama?
Yeah.
I don't know that you do. I think that your goal is just to murder them and pray. Kirishima 2 hard counters your character because your entire goal is just to make things really big. You say once per turn make my thing big, and he says once per turn make your thing small, and small's just gonna beat big, right? Or big, small's just gonna beat big. He says once per turn your mid attack gets +1 damage, right? Because it's rounded down.
Would sideboarding into Aoyama one do anything at all?
It would do something versus Ochako, but like it's the same issue with Aoyama 1 versus Aoyama 2. Aoyama 1 just says like all my moves get big, and Kirishima just says I'll block the ones that I can block, and then I'll commit and say that I took half damage. Right? So like this thing comes in for 12 all by its lonesome in Aoyama 2, so it just comes in for 6, and I had to flip 4 foundations to do so. That sucks. That doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah. Okay.
You could side into Eraserhead. You could side into Eraserhead. Yeah. That's a fun way to beat Kirishima 2, but like we're not currently playing any of the actions. We'd have to like sideboard the actions, and to fight Ochako, we just don't really have the tools. Like you could play like weights. Like weights shuts that character down once, right?
Yeah.
Like after you play a card, you can't respond with the Ochako once per turn, but like you just do it on the second attack, and it like you didn't like lose any real advantage. It's like how that card barely stops Asui, it like barely stops Ochako as well.
Yeah, I do like the idea of sideboarding into Eraser, putting like 2 erases into the sideboard with it, and then maybe some other foundations to take out for like Midnight's Assistance.
I'd put in 3 erases if I were you. I don't think you need all 4, but I think 3 is the right number. Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, you could also just do all 4, right? Enhance seal one of my opponent's foundations is just like a good ability. So like as long as you're down to like discard a card to do so, you're already playing a 7 ancest character, and making all of these moves even faster, like it just feels good, right? Point blank incineration says your next one gets +5 speed. That's pretty good, right?
It gets 5 mid 6 as well.
Yeah. 5 mid 6 stun 1. Tight.
Right.
Yeah. Any thoughts though?
No, I like it. I definitely puts out a whole lot more damage than it did before.
For sure. And that's what you have to do as Aoyama. Is he just has to just try and murder you. That's what Black Ace did, and I'm basing this off of like the gameplay that he had.
I'll trust that.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, I will say thank you for the support from over on Patreon. This was a fun deck to look at.
Yeah, no problem.
I will shoot you the list over, and you let me know how you do at locals, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Peace.